So this video, I want you guys to completely pay attention to what I'm about to put you guys on. Now, as you can see in the freeze frame, you see exactly where we are with it. I'm up. This is his last possession, or yeah, you could say his last possession, and it's pretty much a do or die time, right? So I'm gonna let this clip play, and I want to let it run for a second because, stuff like this just, it bothers me. It bugs the hell out of me. Now, at this point, I'm pretty sure you've already seen that he throws a pick, but my guy decides to go out with a one-handed catch, and he ends up dropping it because he made contact with somebody, or just basically rubbing up against him. This alone caused me to lose the game. We ended up going to overtime. He scored, and I lost. Stuff like this just, it gets on my nerves because as a defensive back, I'm pretty sure people in the comments that have played football, people that have coached DBs, if you watched enough football, you see how DBs interact, you know what they do, you see how they're trained. You're never trained to catch it with one hand. You catch a ball with one hand, you are either in a position where that's the only thing that you can get open to be able to try to grab the ball, or you're just showing off, right? You're showing off because there's a big margin of a win, and you just decided that you want to just try to see if you can snatch the ball one-handed, whatever the case is. Or you're just that much of an athlete that it was a very irregular ball and you're trying to catch it with one hand. There's no reason for you as a user to have to relegate yourself to a random draw from the animation bucket of what kind of catch you're going to get. No DB in the history of DBs that is covering Richard Sherman, Champ Bailey, Revis, who else are we thinking here? Troy Vincent, Ty Law, the list goes on. There's no DB in the history of DBs who is going to have a ball that they can catch with two hands and say, nah, I think I'm going to catch it with one hand. Ah, man, I dropped it. That's okay. Coach is looking at you about to blow a head gasket because that was a pick that we needed, and you decided to go with a one-handed catch. We needed that to seal the game, and that's what you do? So back to EA for a second. Why do you guys think that this one-handed catching shit is supposed to be the coolest thing on the block? Now, I got another scenario. It wasn't as dire. It was just more or less of an inconvenience. I'm going to let that roll. But my problem with this is, why on offense we can hold left bumper or L1 and hold it and be able to do a one-handed possession catch, one-handed rack, or one-handed aggressive catch? Why are we able to do that whenever we want to at any given time? But on defense, we're relegated to have to rely on a random draw from an animation bucket as to what type of catch we're going to get. I don't give two squirts of piss about what his catch rating is. I don't give a damn if it's 102. You are not trained as a DB to catch a ball one-handed. You're not to do that. You are not to go up with one hand. You are to go up with two. If that's the case, if you want to implement one-handed catching on defense, you need to give us that same kind of courtesy that we have on offense by holding a button and then being able to catch the ball one-handed or attempt at catching it one-handed. And if we do, we understand that this is the risk. You can try to catch it with one hand, but you're probably going to drop it at a higher rate. Totally fine with that. But give us that common courtesy to allow us to try to catch it with one hand. This shit cost me the game. This cost me the game. You got to think about how that could be the catalyst. That was the catalyst of me losing the game. Had he caught it, game would have been over with a long time ago. It would have been way over with. But now I have to sit here and become a victim. I have to pretty much sit there with egg on my face because EA does not allow the users to choose what type of catch they want. Where in the fuck do you think one-handed catching is the best plan? Where? Explain to me in this situation, what the fuck does one-handed catching supposed to do for me? Explain that to me, EA. Somebody at the EA office explain it to me. Clint, whoever it is, explain it to me why you think one-handed catching in this scenario was a great idea. Why do you think one-handed catching on defense is such a great thing? I remember once upon a time that if somebody was going to catch a one-handed ball, they had an ability to do it. There was some kind of ability that you had to put on the player to make him catch it one-handed. I think it was like acrobat or some shit. None of these players have acrobat on them. They're all just basic, I don't say skillless, but they don't have any kind of abilities on them. So why in the fuck am I going up with a one-handed catch when in this situation 2 would have ended the game right there and I would have came away with a dub? Like, this shit bothers me. You guys really think that we're stupid. You really are trying to appeal to little kids that think that, oh, everybody's Odell Beckham. I want to be like Odell Beckham. I want to catch everything one-handed. When actually, in all reality, when you get into football, they teach you technique. Where is this in coaching where this is technique? Where? This is something you do on your free time. This is something you do with your friends. This is something you do in practice when you just lollygagging. This is something you do on warm-ups when you just bullshitting. You don't go with one-handed fucking catches in these type of predicaments. Point blank period. It don't matter where it is. You catch it with 2 hands. 2 hands, ladies and gentlemen. So Clint, whoever it is at the office that's in charge of these one-handed catches, shenanigans y'all got going on, fix this bullshit. Because you're going to cost a lot of people games when you got them going for one-handed catches at random in poor situations where it's do or die time, and that right there can seal the game. But you got them going to one-handed catch and they drop it. You're going to cost a lot of people a lot of games, Clint. I suggest you fix this shit immediately. Hopefully y'all enjoy. Make sure you like button, comment, subscribe, share, respect, links. Y'all know I do. I'm going to get up out of here, man. It's your boy Jay Divine. I'm signing out. Peace.